Hello, you're listening to ArsenPool, the world's first Arsenal and Liverpool FC based podcast. I'm Michael Cotter. I'm here with Matthew Bloomfield, as ever, your two favourite people to discuss all matters Arsenal and Liverpool.
All right.
How you doing, Matt?
Yeah, not too bad. Good week.
Yeah, good week.
Yeah, it's all right. Good
Busy?
week for both. Yeah, slightly below busy, I'd say.
Football related, happy?
Yeah.
What a week we've had.
I know it's been a bit of movement in the transfer market. Good wins for both clubs. Well, not so much of a good win for Liverpool, but a win nonetheless.
Well, here we are upon big news. Both Arsenal and Liverpool, a dream tie in the fifth round.
Yeah, fifth round. ArsenPool, Liverpool draw Arsenal. What are the odds?
What are the odds of that? Within
Technically, I think they were like 32-1, but
the heavens have aligned.
yeah,
Is that an expression?
oh, it is now.
Yeah.
The heavens have aligned.
I don't know.
The moons have aligned.
Yeah, and destiny has struck,
The
and we have
stars.
each other
Exactly.
in
In the space of a
FA
week,
Cup.
there's going to be two Liverpool Arsenal games.
Exactly. It's going to be madness.
It's like, yeah, it's meant
Make
to
sure
be.
you stay tuned with ArsenPool for that week. It'll be absolutely crazy. So we've had shock transfers, we've had shock cup upsets in the Carling Cup. We've had a very standard FA Cup weekend. Every single Premier League team went through, I believe, apart from
Palace,
who lost to Wigan.
Yeah.
So a bit of stuff. So today's podcast will be, as ever, reviews of the Arsenal and Liverpool games. As Arsenal was first on Friday night, Matthew will be giving us a review of Arsenal versus Coventry in the 4-0 victory. Then I will be reviewing Bournemouth versus Liverpool, 2-0 victory for the away team. And then, as it was such a comfortable victory for both teams, I think we can dedicate a nice big chunk of this week's podcast to our mutual hatred of Manchester United section.
I like that. Brilliant.
And this week, well, we missed out on it last week, but is there ever going to be a better week to do the joke that is David Moyes?
I think this week's going to be set the bar for United bashing.
There's so much we can laugh at.
I know. Penalties are not top of my priority list, and just, the club in general.
I'm even going to try and make out that the Juan Mata buy is bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to put a spin on it, a negative spin on everything.
Just
Desperate they are.
for fun.
Desperate.
Anyway,
also, before we get into it, I would like to point out that, last week's podcast got like 125 views.
Wow.
Now, based on the fact that probably 90% of them clicked on it by accident and the rest of the half only listened to it for about a minute, I reckon we got about 12 listeners.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm happy with that.
I'm happy with 12. I'm going for...
It's a solid start.
It's a solid start. People were talking about it on the way to. We went out last night on a train.
People are talking.
Good or bad, it doesn't matter.
There's no such thing as bad press.
It's all publicity.
Exactly. Right. Let's just jump straight into the
straight
reviews.
into it.
We'll
Right.
get these out of the way.
Yeah.
We can have the real fun.
Right.
So, your review of Arsenal Coventry.
Right, Arsenal Coventry, exactly the same as it was the last two games I watched the Arsenal. Very comfortable. Not much went on. Up popped Lucas Podolski, who, I think...
He scores when he wants.
Yeah.
He scores when he wants. Lucas Podolski, he scores.
Somehow
sometimes.
he's still not 30. He's been round for bloody ever.
How is he?
I don't know, he's like
27?
28 or something, I don't know. But I thought his first goal was really well taken, really good goal. I think, you possibly would have had 4 more points in the league at this stage if he'd been playing, because I think he's a really good player, and you're not getting many goals from Giroud. I thought that was a really good goal, first taken goal. Second goal, good old flick on by Per, who I think is becoming possibly one of the best centre backs in the league now, whereas he had a really shaky beginning, but now he's just such a beast in the box. But both boxes, he's so good defensively, and he in the attacking third, I mean, it was such a good flick on, and then Podolski just did a nice little tap in at the end. Nothing really, nothing more much happened in the game. I wasn't too impressed with your filler players. That come on. I thought they were okay, but it was a good. We discussed it last week. It was going to be a win. It was always going to be a win. It was comfortable. I thought Coventry were absolute dog shit.
I think that's harsh, but I'll get to that.
Well, I thought they were okay. Well, no, I don't. Sometimes when you
they are League One team.
Pardon?
League One team came to the Emirates.
I know they're
the
League
league
One
in the Premier League.
Just show some bloody. I don't know. I want some FA Cup fight. They had none of that. Anyway,
sorry, Coventry fans. We know there's hundreds of you listening. But I will come to your defence.
There's no Coventry fans listening at all. Also, I thought, who scored the third goal? Can't remember who scored the third one.
Giroud.
Yeah, Giroud. That was actually a pretty good finish. Good work down the left. Good work down the left. I believe it was Gibbs that put the ball in. Gibbs is another person that I'm pretty impressed with.
From Ozil passed it.
Yeah, I think Gibbs should be going to the World Cup. I can't really.
I agree.
I thought that was a brilliant ball in, and actually a pretty good finish from Giroud.
Ashley Cole.
Could have thought he was going to boot it over the bar, but no, good finish. And the fourth goal was a good save, probably about the only good thing the Coventry goalkeeper did that game. But then, not even that good really, did he? Just palmed it out, up step Cazorla.
Well, it was a bullet from Jenko.
Well, it was right at him though, wasn't it? Just catch the
bullet.
Or just don't palm it off into the middle of the goal. One or the other. And then up step Cazorla, booted it into the floor, up into the goal. 4-0. Not got much else to discuss, mate.
Well,
I know you're going to be the same in the Bournemouth game. I think you probably want to talk more about Arsenal now.
Well,
but
yeah, I will.
Nice, comfortable. Coventry is shit.
My thoughts on the game. I attended the match.
Oh yeah, I know.
And it was fun. It was fun actually. The first half was it was a really nice atmosphere for the game because we're playing League One opposition in the FA Cup, so tickets were a bit cheaper. So you get some proper fans coming in. Good atmosphere around the ground. Coventry fans were excellent. They were doing all their protests because of all this malarkey with their home ground. They don't play in Coventry anymore.
What's happening with that? Oh, because they can't afford it, can they not?
Yeah, and then they were deducted points in the league and stuff. So they were protesting to the board, and all the Arsenal fans got involved with a round of applause on 16th minute or something. I didn't have a clue what was going on. It was madness, but yeah, it was all good. Yeah, it was nice that there was a bit of unity, even though they were 2-0 down by that point.
Yeah.
And then a floodlight went out.
Yep, saw that.
And then we all put our phones on.
Saw that on Twitter.
That was a laugh. Very pretty.
Yeah, well, it's like a Coldplay concert.
Or the Killers.
Or the Killers, or anyone.
Or any band.
Yeah.
That plays at night. Generally, the game, I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed. When I got a little bit aroused when I saw the team sheet. I was thinking,
strong side.
Well, we played these lot last year in the League Cup, and we beat them 6-1 with the youth team, with the reserves. This week, we didn't play a DM. We put Oxlade-Chamberlain play pretty much a defensive midfield, which I don't really get. I still think his strongest position is out on the wing. I know Wenger wants to convert him into a centre midfielder, but I think he's actually better out on the wing.
Yeah.
And I thought, on the whole, it was a game that he needed to get his touch in.
Yeah.
And on the whole, he was good, but he wasn't great. I saw the team sheet and I thought we got Ozil in there. We got our standard back four, apart from Jenkinson in there. Nicholas Bentner. Got Gnabry, who's been, that's like his 4th, 5th game started in a row. I thought, you know what, we're going to absolutely wipe the ground with this lot. And frankly, I know that I'm sure that this was a tactical decision from Wenger to not get out of first gear. Like, we didn't need to get out of first gear.
Yeah, once the second goal went in, that was it.
The whole game was played at the same pace.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, there was even our scoring goals were still played in that same first gear.
Yeah. I
was hoping we were going to go out and absolutely wipe the floor. Arguably we got even slower after the second goal went in. We started the second half, and I actually think Coventry were the better team for the first 20 minutes of the second half. They really had a go, and at times I thought that they looked either we made them look it or they made themselves look far better than a League One side. And I wish them all the luck in the world in their league, because I thought they had good fans, and they were a decent team last night on Friday night. And I thought they had a good go. So I disagree with your point that they were dog shit, quote unquote.
Well,
I think that's a little bit disrespectful to a League One team that went to top of the league in the Premiership and only lost 4-0. They improved from last year. A few points about some of the players. I thought, yeah, I agree with you. Podolski, very good finish. His first one, really nice finish. Second one was a doddle really. He
had to be there, didn't he? Though,
but he did have to be there. Good point, and he's starting to show. Well, hopefully, he can show that he can fight for a team, for a place in the first team. Overall, though, I had a slight problem with our wing play. Both Podolski and Gnabry, neither of them took on their man once. Neither of them took on their man. They're playing on the wing. You've got to be able to stretch teams defensively by actually pushing their fullbacks towards their goal line. Yeah. And neither did it. Podolski can come away though with his head held up high because he got himself 2 goals.
Yeah.
Gnabry, I thought was crap.
Yeah, I didn't.
He really wound me up. I was sat next to like a 9-year-old boy, and I feel sorry for that lad because despite winning and it was a nice evening out, I was pissed off with Gnabry. He does not want to run. He didn't want to run at his man. I'm thinking, you're 18 years old. You're 18 years old.
Against Coventry.
And you're playing against Coventry.
At home, yeah.
And you're at home and you're trying to impress your manager. And he looked like he was about 33. He looked like Ryan Giggs on the wing.
Yeah.
Not a fucking 18-year-old. Get at your man. Push him back. If you can't be asked to go and take on your man against Coventry City at home in the League Cup when you've got Mesut Ozil and Wilshere next year, when are you going to do it?
Yeah.
When are you going to do it? He kept going in sideways. Bloody Jenkinson did it. Jenkinson did his opposite fullback more than his winger did. And it wound me up. I thought, show something. You've got an opportunity here. Wenger's already said he likes Chamberlain in the middle. Walcott's injured. You've got a good opportunity here to stake a claim. Do you ever see Walcott standing behind his fullback?
Yeah, the thing
wound me up.
You've got to take for young players. It's a shame to see them not take their opportunities.
He's sort of showing. He's playing it. I'd rather see a young player be raw and be rash and take on their fullbacks and run at them, but then maybe miss a few passes or do something that's not, or misjudge a header or something, or do something bad defensively, but show some passion. Whereas he played it so safe.
Yeah,
and he didn't do it anything that particularly was striking. It was just safe. It was a real safe performance. And I was just like, put Chamberlain out there.
Yeah.
Because he'll take on his man, as he's shown time and time again. I completely agree with you, Per Mertesacker. I think he's up there with best centre-halves in the league this year.
I thought he was
really
absolutely shit when he first came, but now he's just... he's not shit, but I didn't think he was up to the pace of the Premier League.
I think there's a sort of common perception, perhaps maybe instigated by the sports media, that Per Mertesacker was poor when he first came, and he wasn't great,
but
he took a while to
settle,
adjust to the league, but he actually wasn't as bad as people make out. By sort of the second half of the season,
he was good.
He actually was looking decent. By the time he got an ankle injury in about March in his first season and ended his season early, and up to that point he was already at that point Vermaelen was injured and he was really starting to build a relationship with Koscielny then, and there was a lot of people saying, you know what, these two look alright at the back together. And then everyone's like, yeah, but Vermaelen will be back and he's first choice. And then the next season comes along and we mix and matched it with Mertesacker a bit and Vermaelen a bit and Vermaelen and Koscielny, and it didn't work until the game we had against Bayern Munich last year. At that point he went, you know what, actually Mertesacker and Koscielny are our best centre-halves. And with them two together, they complement each other so well. Mertesacker is beginning to look really, really essential to our defensive stability. And the fact of the matter, I was talking this about with my dad. I was saying, he's so slow that he might be able to play till he's about 50.
Because he's not going to get himself
injured.
He's not going to get any slower. No, exactly. Yeah.
You know,
he can just read the game, and
his game is completely dependent on reading and an understanding of the game and the defensive art. It's not about power and pace. And you think, what's going to happen when this guy hits 35?
Nothing.
The only thing that's going to stop him is injuries. He did have one dodgy moment though. There was a moment where Cross came in, and I thought, he's so tall. He could have just edited it. He could have edited it out for a corner, and he sort of did this sort of bicycle kick clearance that went not even out the 18-yard box, and Coventry City should have scored a goal. I was thinking, one dodgy moment, Per. Gnabry, yeah, I'm just looking at my notes here. I thought he was poor. Cazorla and Giroud both came on and sort of wrapped the game up. Coventry, unlucky, wish you all the best, but we are through to the next round to play Liverpool, where I imagine Nicholas Bentner will not be starting.
I would say no.
Okay, that's that then.
Yeah.
So, my review of Bournemouth, Liverpool.
Go for it.
It was sort of the opposite of what I was saying last week about Liverpool. That you finally had that game where, you know, you just look comfortable. You look sort of efficient, and
Yeah.
you know, you let them have the ball a bit. It was one of those games where it's like, do you know what? We're comfortable here to play this in second gear, and we don't have to have the ball 80% possession because we're good enough to beat this team. And they seemed to let Bournemouth have a lot of possession, and they had half chances. Bournemouth throughout the game, I thought they sort of had lots of sort of half chances. They constructed things, but they never.
They get really excited.
I didn't really think they got any point where they were like really unlucky not to score.
No.
They got plenty of opportunities to, you know, in and around the box.
But nothing clear cut, really.
Nothing really clear cut. Sort of maybe 3/4 chances.
Yeah. If you just made that up, but it's a new thing.
I thought defensively, Kolo Toure looked pretty good.
I do. Yeah, Cody looks all right.
He looked impressive yesterday. Yeah. He chucked himself.
It's Bournemouth, though. You know what I mean. But I do what you mean.
I agree. I thought, yeah. But you can only play what's in front of you,
yeah.
And I thought he was moved himself about a bit more, and he threw himself into a lot of things physically, as if. I mean, how old is he now? 60?
Yeah, 62. Yeah, I don't know. He's got a bus pass.
Right.
He's old, but
I mean, he threw.
He's got a youthful personality.
That's good.
It is good.
I mean, his brother's 29.
Yeah, and he's the Yaya 29, Kolo Toure 33.
And Kolo's his dad.
Yeah, Kolo Toure. He's not his brother. He's his dad.
He's his dad, father and son. I thought that the Moses goal was a lovely shot.
It was.
It was not. It sort of didn't look like it was going at any great speed, but it was precise.
Yeah.
Precise diagonal shot into the corner from a delicious pass from Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
My favourite man.
Your favourite chomper. Your favourite racist.
Diving racist chomper.
Diving racist rat, as I believe you called him.
Should be playing for Arsenal.
Should be playing for Arsenal.
Chomping and diving all over the Emirates. You should love it. Well, except for in the cup tie.
Yeah.
You can leave that out. I thought Suarez was pretty good. He was busy. It was just one of those games you didn't really take charge of it, but it was a bit like, you know what? It felt a bit like the Arsenal game. It was like, why are we here? Why are we doing this? Like, we're going to go through, aren't we? Let them have the ball, and we'll do our bits and pieces when we have to. And they did. They got the first goal. Went back to a sort of similar story. Bournemouth had more possession. They looked like they were the better of the two teams, but they weren't because it was controlled. I think you sort of kept them at arm's length, and then Suarez put another nice ball in, so 2 assists for him for Sturridge's goal, and again, that's 3 goals in 3 games, I think now.
Yeah, 3 goals since he's come back from injury.
Another one on his right foot, and I remember a lot of criticism about him was his religious adherence to his left foot, the very one-footed player, and his selfishness of his play, and he seems to be maturing, and he's capable of, you know, when he's put through on goal, he can score with both feet, and it was a nice finish. It wasn't an easy finish.
No, it's
right
good.
foot. The keeper was coming out at him, just put it straight in the corner, exactly where he wanted to put it, and then he had another one where he put a delicious ball through to Suarez. And Suarez tried to lob the goalkeeper, and he
didn't quite work.
should have
Should have
scored.
Yeah.
And then, so everyone thought, and Sturridge very nearly got a second.
Yeah,
from his lob.
crossbar.
That was a
good
confident
shot.
Yeah. Really nicely taken. So overall, you know, 2-0. It weren't a particularly interesting game.
No.
It didn't really raise any alarms in my head. I didn't think you looked like. I went on the internet to see what people were saying about the game, and a lot of people were like, Liverpool, and Roy Keane slagged you off or something.
Yeah.
Which team was the championship team? And I was thinking, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Like, the team that lost.
Fuck Roy Keane though. No one's got time for Roy Keane.
Just like Liverpool had more quality in the right places.
Roy Keane's like Liverpool should win 8-0. Anything less.
Yeah, they didn't have to have 80% possession and have shitloads of chances. They just won the game and they did it fine. And you know what? And no one really knackered themselves out.
No.
Skirtle got a knock or something like that.
Yeah, so a head collision. And he looked like he was wearing a beanie hat for the rest of the game because they like bandaged his head black, but instead of a white bandage, it was like a black bandage.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, he got popped on a beanie hat.
A big rag.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't a beanie hat.
You're and now you're through to the next round.
Yeah, exactly.
To play Arsenal.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got to say.
Brilliant.
There was no controversy. There's nothing that I found particularly striking.
Right.
That was just more of a summary of the game rather than
a
review.
I'll tell you what. My summary of the game is: firstly, Brendan Rodgers picked a strong side, brilliant.
He picked
but
the
why
strongest team.
I still don't understand why Coutinho, he put Coutinho in the hole and Coutinho did fucking nothing all game. I don't want to sound like a bit of a Coutinho basher at the moment, but
this is news to me because you did non-stop talked him up
before
this podcast.
Yeah, before these podcasts.
The worst out of you.
This year he's just been a bit of a lightweight, and then we have Luis Alberto on the bench, who's this like bright young player that we bought from Sevilla, and he was on loan at Barcelona and got so many assists. He come on and looked confident. I just thought, surely there's. I know we're playing Bournemouth away and we're taking the FA Cup seriously, but surely you can just fucking throw in hit a one player and like blood him, because it's like, when's his chance going to come if you can't play in Bournemouth? And he's been shown some signs of quality, and Coutinho's shown some signs of not doing nothingness. It was a controlled game, but at the same time, as a Liverpool fan, I was annoyed that we didn't run. Same as you probably, as the 4-0. Yeah, I was annoyed that we didn't get a second gear. I thought Henderson was a bit missed. I thought Henderson was a much better player when Gerrard wasn't around. He had a good game. Don't get me wrong,
Bloody
but
Gerrard.
he because when we play with Henderson and Gerrard, they both kind of hold in. Henderson can't really do what he wants to do. Sturridge again, I thought took his goal well, but I thought we played him on the right wing really at the beginning. He didn't come back once.
Who's that?
Sturridge couldn't give a shit about coming back. Didn't bother.
No.
So didn't want to. He was literally like, I ain't coming back. So we had poor Martin Kelly, who's come back from injury.
I forgot to mention. I was going to say it was good to see Martin Kelly.
It was
back.
good to see Martin Kelly back. He looked a bit tired when he come off for old Flanagan, and I think Flanagan is probably going to be our left back for the rest of the season if he can stay fit, because Sissoko is useless. He is absolutely dog poo. Like
I liked him.
You like Alo Sissoko?
Well, I liked him when he played against Arsenal.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Did he play? Can't remember.
I don't know, but he's absolutely pants. Yeah. Apart from that, Kelly could have given away a penalty, pulled someone's shirt, but weren't given. Good to see Flanagan back. Good to see Kelly back. Brad Jones was useless in goal. Like, come out, flapped it. One point, he tried to come out and get the ball, ran into one of our players, fell over, like on a corner, and I was like, "What are you doing, mate?" I know it was National Australia Day or something on the weekend. Maybe he was just pissed still. But yeah, apart from that, I won't want to go too much. It annoyed me because it's difficult to judge those sort of games. The pitch was not very good. Everyone was slippy. I wanted
to mention the pitch. Everyone should have written better bullet points for this. Pitch looked awful.
Yeah, everyone kept falling over. It looks like it was one of those games, you know, when you're watching telly and it could be like filmed in the 80s. Like, it just doesn't look like just that old crappy pitch, and it was windy and horrible. So yeah. I'm not going to go in too much. I'm like you, just frustrated. I thought we should have won more, but good control game. Suarez looked good.
Through.
Done. Moyes bashing time.
You had a point that you wanted to raise, you mentioned last night. Is that about David Moyes? You said last night that a friend had mentioned something that you wanted to bring up.
Oh no, he mentioned something about our podcast.
Oh really?
Yeah, guy called James. If you're listening to this, well, you listened to the first week, so you probably won't be listening to this.
I thought this was about the Liverpool game.
No.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, let's do it now.
Yeah, he basically said that the podcast was his view. Well, it's not mine. 70% shit, but 30% brilliance.
Nice.
Which I thought,
Thank you, James.
I thought, well, if we could approve 10% a week in like.
I'm happy for a 50-50, or maybe even 60% shit.
For our first, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was alright. Yeah, so that was it. I wanted to bring that up.
Oh, okay. Thanks, James.
Yeah.
Much love, babes.
Yeah, he won't like that.
Enjoy this week.
enjoy this week. I told you, listen last week, so I won't be listening this week. Oh. Yeah, right.
David Moyes.
David Moyes time.
Right, so let's Well, sorry. It's not the David Moyes section. It is our mutual hatred of Manchester United section. And this week's theme is the joke that is David Moyes. This is what we wanted to bring up last week, but we ran out of time because, fuck me, that went on for a while, didn't it, last week?
Yeah,
anyway,
apologies for that.
Should we have some sort of jingle? I've been thinking about creating a jingle for the mutual hatred of Manchester United, and I'm thinking of something possibly connected to Glory, Glory Man United.
Can it have the word cunt in it?
We can, yeah, fuck it. Of course it can. But,
I've seen there's immediately a lot more swaying this week.
what are we doing now?
Cunts.
That's it.
That's it.
That could be the same thing every week.
Every-
Let's do this one more time.
Cunts. Done.
Welcome to the mutual hatred of Manchester United section. So, let's rewind to last week and when we finished our podcast. We briefly previewed the Premier League match, Chelsea versus Manchester United.
Yeah.
What was your prediction?
Of Chelsea Man United.
Yeah, last week. Refresh my memory.
I think I said they were 3-0.
No, it doesn't have to be the score.
They would lose quite comfortably.
And I recall me saying they'd lose. What happened again?
They fucking lost. And I remember saying I hope Torres scores a hat-trick, but you said I hope Eto'o scores. In fact, Eto'o got the hat-trick.
He
He did get the hat-trick.
He did get the hat-trick.
I must say, United look particularly wank.
They did look wank last week. Didn't they have something like 15 crosses or something like 20-odd crosses and only 3 met ahead?
Yeah.
That was hilarious. It was joyful. It was
Yeah.
a joyful hour and a half.
Yeah, and
to watch.
To
watch Chelsea score from... They only had 3 shots.
Even when Liverpool played at Stamford Bridge, they picked up their game and they played really well, but we still could have nicked a draw. United just got blown away, and Eto'o scored a hat-trick. He ain't look good, has he?
Arsenal versus Coventry.
Yeah, it was. It was just like, this is not the United that anyone fears anymore, is it?
No, and that is partially down to David Moyes. So, David Moyes, let's go back to his appointment at Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson has left Manchester United and left in charge Everton manager David Moyes.
No silverware.
Oh yeah. No, well, yeah. So how many titles have United won? 21? 21
Lots,
titles?
yeah, I think so.
And he's put in charge David Moyes, Champions League 1 year.
Yeah.
Qualification stage failed.
Yeah. The thing is with David Moyes is that, is it just because he was Scottish and at a club for a long time?
I think so.
Because
I think that sort of just goes... Of all of his brilliance, Sir Alex Ferguson, they say, who should we appoint? Shall we put in charge Jose Mourinho? He loves the club. He said frequently he'd love to manage Manchester United. Is he Scottish? No, he's Portuguese. I want a Scot in charge. So, pop down the red wine, Alex. We need to... We'd love for your blessing. I'm in charge here, I'll tell you, he's after me. Scottish person. Walter Smith. He's retired. Who else is there? Gordon Strachan. He's in charge of Scotland. Oh, who's that guy at Everton? David Moyes. Ed!
yeah, I don't. I think he may.
But Mourinho, he wants to. He's won Champions Leagues with several
and
clubs.
leagues everywhere he's been. No,
put in charge David Moyes.
I think.
Where's me wine?
I think Sir Alex Ferguson just had a big wheel and with loads of Scottish people on it, and he just spun it, and it was like like the Wheel of Fortune.
One of them was Mel Gibson as Liam Moyes.
David Moyes, get him in.
And I understand that he was Man United for 25 years that he was there, and I'm thinking, 30 years he was there. I don't know how long he was there. Anyway,
too long.
What? Why does he choose the next manager? Was there no one else going? David Moyes. We understand the importance of stability. A manager who's going to stick by the team and keeping a manager through several years. And that's essentially led to Alex Ferguson's success because he had woeful first 5 years at the club.
Yeah.
But the game's different now. The game is not the same.
Different. And can I point out that When Sir Alex Ferguson took over Man United, they weren't a title-winning team. He got a lot of time. He was given a lot of time, and he could have got fired sooner. But he was given time to build a team.
Yeah.
Whereas David Moyes has taken over a title-winning team, and now it don't look like he's going to get top 4. Because
and
it's not just Liverpool they're fighting for top 4. You've got to remember Tottenham and Everton are there.
Everton.
And I just think, well, that it's fine. You can give someone, you got to give someone time, blah blah blah. But then I think of all the guys that just walks into the. Remember when Kolo Ancelotti came into the Chelsea job? They didn't go. He just won things straight away. They didn't go. Well, give him a year to be shit.
Yeah.
Like, when can you? If you take over a title-winning club, you shouldn't be allowed to have a year to be shit because you've just won the title.
Yeah.
And then he didn't have any money in the summer. Well, he spent £27 million on that fucking idiot.
Spent money on Fellaini.
Yeah.
And Yanazai came through.
Yeah, and oh god. Anyway, that's a bit of a rant.
The game is different, all right. At the moment, who could have thought Manchester United could look such an unattractive prospect so quickly? Because partially to do with the rise of City as well, which at the moment looks like the more glamorous club in Manchester.
Oh yeah, definitely.
City, just everything about it. I think. The stadium looks nicer. Even
they've got
big,
fans that are from. They've got good fans.
Fans are from the city. They're not tourists.
Yeah, it's not like going to a Chelsea game. Loads of some people go there for part of a tourist attraction.
There's more money in the club.
Yeah.
The players are better. Everything about that club looks classy. Maybe I'm going to be completely biased here because I can't stand Man United, but I could understand why Van Persie wanted to go because they were still an attractive prospect. But you see him this year and you think their team looks horrible. They got a crap, boring manager who was crap and boring at Everton. He made them. Martinez has come in there and already looks like he's getting them playing better football and he's sort of carrying on what the foundation.
I think they look a lot better than they did last year.
But Moyes, he's a good solid manager. But all he's proving is that he's a good solid mid-table manager because that's where Man United are. They're mid-table.
Yeah.
They're 7th, and honestly, they're 7th because they've been the 7th best team.
Yeah, it's not been an accident.
It's not an accident.
They've had no bad luck really either.
Worst team, and I'm thinking, you don't get Champions League nowadays, and suddenly. Next year, it's going to be hard to attract players. They already look like. Their share prices have dropped. It's like you don't look. Man United are always going to be. They're not going to fall away. They're too much of a world name. But I can't quite get my head around how unattractive they already look.
It's been a slippery slope. It's partly
to do with the manager. I think it's to do with David Moyes. As much as crap as the team is looking. No, who wants to go play for David Moyes? No,
I know.
Who in Europe? Like when Fergie was there, you could attract anyone just to go work with him. Are there people, on the mainland now thinking, oh, if I fucking pull my socks up this year and play well, you never know, Moyes might come in for me. David, Can't wait to work under his rigorous training regime.
Alex Ferguson was such a good ambassador for the sport, wasn't he? And Man United. If Sir Alex Ferguson called you up, and Man United at the time was seen this to be this club, on par with probably Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich of this world. If you're German, you're probably going to go Bayern Munich. Yeah. If you're a lot of the Spanish players will obviously want to play for Brazil. Don't want to play for them. Play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. But any other nation, really, if Man United called them up, they were seeing that as one of the biggest opportunities of their career. Now, I think they're thinking, what, why? They're always going to get players. AC Milan are having a difficult time. They'll always get good players. Liverpool, for a while, kept getting good players. Now it's kind of we're riding our luck.
It's stagnated at the moment because you've got lack of champions.
Exactly.
But if you can get it this year, then
we'll be better. Exactly.
You'll start to see players.
Arsenal will always get good players because they're always in Champions League. They might not be winning things, but
and we have a world-class manager.
Exactly. Yeah.
Regardless of what people want to say about Arsene Wenger, he's respected across the board, across
everywhere,
the world, because of the achievements he's made.
Yeah.
The achievements he's earned, over the years. People like if Real Madrid. So I read this somewhere. If Real Madrid sacked their manager today, or PSG, or Barcelona, or Bayern Munich, or Dortmund, they sacked their manager. Is there anyone on their board going, let's try and convince David Moyes to come? No, it's not happening.
No,
there's
exactly.
There's no one abroad who'd want him.
No.
Whereas You know,
I don't even know
they want
who
Arsene
he is.
Wenger.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be thinking, you know, Madrid have attempted to get Wenger several times, you know, or international teams. You know, no one's sitting there going, get that fucking Moyes out of there, pay him what he wants,
Yeah.
and get him to our club. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Because he's won nothing, and you know what? He's not going to win anything at United. He'll be sacked. He'll be sacked by the end of the year because they won't get. I'm going to call it now. They won't win. Well, they're not going to win anything now. They're out the FA Cup. They're out the Carling Cup. They will not win the Champions League.
No.
And they won't win the league. So he won't win anything this year, and I don't think he'll get a second because I don't think they'll finish in the Champions League spots. Yeah. I think they'll finish where they are now. Yeah. I think they might get sixth.
I mean, I don't understand it. You look at Barcelona. You don't have to have a manager that's going to be there for 20 years. Have one that's going to be there for good 5 years. Get rid of him. Another 5 years.
The game's different now.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I'm committed to the fact that when Wenger retires or moves to a different club, we're not going to have another Arsene Wenger.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen in the modern game.
No, and I don't necessarily sometimes see that as a bad thing.
No, why is it such a? Why is that such a dirty thing? I understand. Okay. Maybe like a relegation team. No, but you think these? Not even that. There's always reasons now to sack a manager and bring in new blood.
Yeah.
And it's because it revitalises a team. So you can think of like a relegation team that have lost and they look like they're on their way out and they think, do you know what, we could give this guy more time. I don't completely blame the manager. The players are playing shit, but we need to sack you and get someone else in just to try and motivate them, just to give them a different approach. So you can criticise clubs for only giving managers now, I think the average time a manager has at a club now is like 18 months.
Yeah.
You can criticise that, but it's just part and parcel of the game now.
Mm. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, I think we're in a different environment now, but I think we're kind of going off the rail here, and the main point of this story is
Fabregas. That was hilarious.
Yeah, and also, can we please discuss now the Carling Cup exit, which I thought was absolutely hilarious.
For a second, Moyes' pursuit of Fabregas.
Yeah, we can discuss that. I don't know.
We don't have to discuss it. Just
why? At what point?
Do you want to come to our club, Cesc?
No.
Tell the papers that we've called for Cesc and he's interested.
Yeah.
Cesc, we've raised the bid. I don't want to go. I like it here. I lived in England since I was 16 and then moved back to Spain 3 years ago. I've won things and I like it here. It's where all my family are. Tell the papers that he's definitely interested.
He was never interested, was he? It was just an absolute. I mean, why did you waste your time going for him?
That was the first part of his tactical genius.
Absolute wasted time. But
tactical, not tactical, not football.
Wasted so much time on that. He ended up to go spunk money on Fellaini,
which he didn't even want. He wanted Baines.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut. Can't get Beans. Get
him up.
Right.
Big head twat.
Carling Cup defeat to Sunderland.
Brilliant. Well, actually, they won the game. Let's be fair to them. They won the game, 2-1. The game, but
they lost.
Yeah, they still lost, and they're out. And you know that if I was a United fan, I would be so frustrated at that game because for so long that Sunderland didn't do anything, and then I've always not rated De Gea. At my time when I was in Spain, I followed Atletico Madrid, and I always follow other countries' football, and I've always liked Atletico Madrid, and I thought De Gea always was prone to errors. Sometimes you can pull out a worldie, well, great, but what was he doing? You know what I mean? Was he? Maybe he's just match fixing, and he's got some sort of. He just did it for a laugh or something. I don't know, but he just kind of like helped it into his own net, and then yeah, they rallied, and Hernandez got another goal. But then they lost on penalties. But when those players were coming up to take the penalties, they all looked like they wanted to hang themselves. They were like, bloody, let's get Moyes out. That's what it basically was like, I'm just going to boot this over the bar, I've had enough.
He cannot motivate players.
I know, it doesn't...
You can't... they were one goal down going into a home game against Sunderland.
Yeah. You think, score one goal...
Just score a goal. They scored the goal early.
Yeah.
You think, get another. He cannot motivate them.
No.
Can't get them going and can't get them playing. They don't want to play for him. And then he thinks, oh, shit... And then when they thought, fuck, do you know what, we're actually going to go out here after the De Gea thing, a bit of the old Fergie, like you know,
Yeah,
the Fergie
spirit just came back into play.
What's it called? Muscle memory
Yeah.
kicked in, and they just went shit. Oh yeah, do you remember how we used to score goals at the end and get back into it?
Let's do that again. That worked well.
And then up stepped Moyes for his tactical, motivational speech for the penalties, and they scored one.
To be fair, Sunderland only scored 2, but
what two they were?
they were good too, and I'd never...
Who scored United's penalty?
Fletcher. Darren Fletcher.
Just booted it.
It was all right penalty, but all the English guys missed.
Danny Welbeck couldn't hit the target.
Danny Welbeck.
No, we'll leave him. Because remember, we've got a lot of weeks worth of hatred of Man United.
Yeah.
We can have a Danny Welbeck special.
Yeah, I actually don't mind Danny Welbeck, but
I don't. I do.
yeah,
mind.
okay.
I do mind.
We'll leave that for another day. Basically, I think we should wrap it up sooner rather than later.
Well,
I thought it was
on Man United.
Unbelievably hilarious.
Hilarious and bad.
Yeah. If it was me, I would have been thinking, right, we're playing bottom of the table basically. They're still bottom, aren't they? Sunderland. Yeah, playing bottom of the table. In the semi-final, chance to get into a final against Man City. What a day that could galvanise our whole season, because the Carling Cup finals, only is in February. But
Moyes' interview before the game cracked me up.
Yeah.
As a neutral, as a footballing man, I can't wait for the game.
Well,
I think it's going to be brilliant. This is a game you'll live for. You don't live for anything yet, mate.
Yeah.
You've won no big games.
No.
You've won nothing. Any game that's had anything to stake. They beat Arsenal at Old Trafford. You know what? Yeah, whatever.
Another thing that annoys me about United fans is they're so used to its success they didn't even really care. People are like, oh well, if that was me, I'd be, and it was Liverpool, because we. And it's the same with Arsenal, because success is so hard to come by. We would have been livid.
Yeah, well, we had it last year. You had it against Oldham, and we went out on penalties to Bradford.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't want to leave my house for a week.
Yeah.
Out of the shame. Let's just talk about United's game in the FA Cup forefront. Oh no, they got knocked out, didn't they?
Yeah, and a week off this week. They had a week off this week.
Oh dear.
And after who have they got in the Champions League?
Chelsea got Galatasaray.
Yeah, it's someone quite easy, isn't it?
Argos or something.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they. I don't know. It's someone easy.
Yeah.
But they'll probably lose that.
Yeah.
Although they've been good in the Champions League now.
They have been good in the Champions League.
And they'll somehow win it. They won't. They won't win it. And so, quick discussion of matter.
Yeah.
We'll just say, right, David Moyes' section's over. We've established he's a joke.
Yeah.
We established we don't believe he's the right man to lead Manchester United to glory. But, consequently, that's a pretty damn good thing if you're an Arsenal and Liverpool fan.
Yeah, so...
Long live Moyes!
Yes. Keep him up. I like Moyes.
Right, big things in the week. Matter. That's the big story, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think of that? Matt is a brilliant player, but what I'd just like to say is, they've just bought a Chelsea bench boy.
Yeah. Well, let's.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Let's just say it's another bad decision by Moyes.
Don't get me wrong. He's a very
£40 million on a bench boy.
No.
Where are you going to play him, David?
He's a good player, but
you just know he's not going to know where to play him.
He's a good player, but it don't matter. He could at the moment, David. I don't know.
No pun intended.
I think he's just he's panic buyed maybe a little bit. It's not the word. He's not
a bad buy.
It's not a bad buy.
But
as much as we hate David Moyes,
I
like Juan Mata as a person. He's obviously a top bloke.
Did you read his letter that he
to Chelsea? Yeah,
I thought that was very, very classy.
I thought it was good. He's a classy guy. He's a good footballer, but now I wish him no luck in his future
because
now he's gone to the dark side.
He was the one classy player in a scummy club, and now he's gone to Manchester United, where he's going to be surrounded by more scum. Yeah. He's only got so much class in him. He won't last forever. Yeah. His pure heart will be darkened.
Don't worry, he'll be playing for as soon as they don't get Champions League football, he'll be playing for Real Madrid next year.
Where are they going to play him?
Centre back probably, if David Moyes has anything to do with it.
Where are they going to put him?
Don't know.
I mean, genuinely. I mean, Rooney, what? Rooney's going to go play deeper in midfield? What? Why? What, because he can ping it?
Yeah.
Congrats, mate.
That's a Mark Massey thing, isn't it? Put him in midfield so he can ping it.
People don't know who he is.
What, Mark Massey?
No, he's a guy. He might be a guest one week.
Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah. Well, I mean, what's the point? I mean, they didn't really need Mata. I don't. But as Arsene Wenger would say, you can't have too much quality in your team. You can't have too much quality. So it's good to have Mata there, but they
could have bought better players probably. The situation.
Are they anticipating that Van Persie's fitness is not going to, last for too much longer? I mean, he's been nothing this year. He's not even hit 10 goals really. No. I don't think this year, and he's only getting older. He'll be 32 in the summer.
Yeah.
So maybe they're anticipating that, and they're going to. The talks are that Gerrard Rooney will be signing a new contract. Maybe he'll be pushed back up top. And Gerrard and Gerrard, why is he in my head?
You love him.
Get out, Stevie. And Mata will go behind at number 10. Who knows? I don't really get it. I don't really get why Mourinho didn't like him. I think it's a bit of a panic buy. But altogether, I think it will prove to be a good signing for Manchester United. And a quick word about Wenger. He weren't moaning, and he's not scared of Mata at United. We'll see you at Emirates, yeah? Come on in, Mata. Let's see you at the Emirates. Well, we already saw him at the Emirates once this year, on the bench. I ain't got any more things to say.
No, me either. Just,
well, who Liverpool got next?
Pardon?
Who have you got next?
Don't know. It's not very good, is it?
You're awful, mate. Find out quickly and we'll edit it.
I'll just Google... No, wait, let me... I've got it in my head somewhere. Everton. We've got Everton on Tuesday. Of course we've got Everton.
Oh, the derby!
Everton!
The derby!
Oh my god. Yeah, of course we've got Everton.
Maybe I could edit it that, or maybe I won't.
Don't even edit it, mate. Don't care.
We have Southampton.
I know. I looked up I know your fixtures better than I know ours. Because I thought you've got... At one stage you've got
Everton,
Liverpool. You've got Liverpool twice, Man United, and Bayern Munich in the space of like 11 days.
Predictions.
For Everton.
We'll do
2-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you who's going to score the goals as well.
Go for it.
Steven Gerrard penalty.
Yeah.
Not a dive this time though. It's going to be a fairly won penalty.
Okay.
and Daniel Sturridge is going to continue his goal scoring form with another Luis Suarez assist. And the goal by Everton is going to be scored by.
Oh, this is boring.
Their goalkeeper, Tim Howard.
I think it will be 1-1.
Yeah, that's also...
Don't care about the scores. Arsenal will beat Southampton 2-0. And
it will be boring. And they'll score their goals within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah. They might come in the 80th minute, they might come in the 5th and 10th, but both goals will come close.
And then nothing else will happen.
And then that'll be that. I think we'll win 2-0. We said we were going to do man of the matches for our games. My man of the match for the Liverpool game was Luis Suarez.
Yeah, simple. 2 assists, another 2 assists. Should have scored, but he was lively.
And yours for Arsenal?
Podolski.
Okay.
Just because coming back, scoring 2 goals, I thought he looked lively all over the pitch. I thought Per had a good game, but it was against Coventry, so...
Special mention to Gideon Zalem, 16 years old. Congratulations on your first team debut. Although we did see you in pre-season, but that's your first professional game. Anyway, good night.
Yeah, see you
Thanks
later.
for listening.